Live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill that happens to be the coffee company. Some flip-flops have been thrown at us in the last hour or so. So what we've done is we're going at the anti-flip-flop brigade. So I have brought along two very, very good friends in Mr. Brian Daigle and Mr. Kuva 99. So everyone give them a big up. Brian, how are you doing this afternoon?
Mate, do you know what? I have to say, I'm feeling good, but it doesn't matter. I have to say, that music, that jazz song, it doesn't matter what mood you're in. I can just hear that, and I'm there skitting, and it's a banging tune.
Blues. A bit of Texas blues always helps you.
It's a banging track. Probably my favourite one on YouTube. In all honesty, like of all our channels, it's banging.
Yeah, I picked well for once. I picked well. They haven't copyrighted me yet. Canberra's done very well. And Mr.
It's that kind of tune where you want to get something done, but not in too much of a rush. It's just
yeah. That's the Texas
I've got the laundry to do, but when I can be asked.
Yeah. Just do an occasional sock thrown in while you're going past. Yeah, good here. Otherwise, Ben, always good to be on stream with you two. Two of my favourites.
Just to start off the stream, what is your least favourite form of beachwear?
Oh, I hate wearing stuff on my feet at all times. Yeah. So it's got to be the flip flop, hasn't it?
Yeah. Ryan?
They just feel terrible under your feet. Even the way they're named, it's an accurate description of what's happening under your feet. Yeah. It doesn't feel steady, does it?
No, you know what it is, Kuva? The ones I have, it is flip flops for me, but there's different variations of flip flops, as we know. And for me, it's that flip flop that just has the little thing there with the toe separator. If it's got the nice leather bit that's nice and your feet slip right in, I'm cool. But that little toe thing, and then every time you move, you're rubbing and get blistered. No. Just give me a nice all-in-one. Saying that, the flip-flops I currently have are the one with the toe separators. So Hypocrite Brian comes to the rescue. But yeah, I will be upgrading to the all-in-one leather piece afterwards. That came out wrong.
Sliders over thongs confirmed.
No, it didn't.
We don't like funny flip-flops.
My God, if Bob was with us, brother. My God.
Let's welcome who's in the chat today. Mr. Chris Agenbar, big up, sir. Big up, Chris. Mr. Fluffy Tom, big up, Fluffy.
Big up, Tom. And big up, Chris.
Moondog, big up, Moondog. Big up, Ben. I've had a shitty few days, so I'm here to share. Hopefully, You get on the right way, sir. Big up, big up. Everyone say, bog you. What? Old warm socks. What? What's this? What? Oh, big up, bog you. Big up, big up. Nick is here saying, look at these lazy.
Big up.
Big up, Nick, Barry, Sean, Ranjit.
They will put on a show for you.
Ciao, Iggy. Ciao,
Big up, Iggy.
amico. Come va, come va. Big up, Brian from Fluffy. Speedos, yeah. No one likes Speedos.
Oh, God, yeah. Torturing yourself.
Yeah. Mankini as well. So we've got after
I think we'll see what Iggy does when he goes on holiday now. That's interesting, Viggs, brother.
As much as I hate Mankinis, I think I'm seeing it on Borat. It's quite funny. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
And especially that lime green color or fluorescent yellow, whichever way you want to. If you're going to do it,
smile and the thumbs up while doing it.
If you're going to do it in fluorescent. Come on.
That's right.
Just to make it.
Totally right.
Big up, Scott. Hopefully having a wonderful day. What's happening this week? What has been happening apart from flip-flops being thrown at us from across the street?
Well, I think the biggest issue for me, forget the football for a change, but it's what's happened off the pitch, isn't it? With these Bill Nick passed away. What did the club do?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people talking about it now, and rightfully so. I think that's disgraceful. Do you think there's going to be anything done on Wednesday?
No.
You know what? When you look at it, whether there is or whether there isn't, but if there isn't, it's more fuel on the fire. And if he does, it now looks like, because of fan power, I've got to do this to try and ease the burden. It's like a token. Yeah. It's like a token gesture, and it's like, well, you're doing this, and it's clearly because the backlash that has come your way.
Yeah.
The very fact that you didn't think about that, the very, very fact, like we've all have relatives that have passed away, unfortunately, and we all remember the birthday, the anniversary, the death. If it's your grandparents or your parents, the anniversary of your parents. We all know that those dates like the back of our hands. We all know it's coming up a week before, a day before, a month before. So it should be etched in your memory. Okay, on this date, we need to prepare something. It could have been like a little thing in the program, like when you see in the local papers, bike for sale or job here. It could have just been a little thing. We commemorate the passing of Bill Nick, date of birth, date of death, forever remembered, blah, blah. And that's it. That's all it would have taken. But the fact that you may go in and do something after, it's weak.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I was to be cynical about our glorious club owner, and I'm not, because big up Daniel Levy, sack them all. Now, if I was to be very cynical about it, I would say that nothing was done about Bill Nick, because let's face it, that's a period of sustained success within the club. It embarrasses the current lot.
Yeah.
When we're all about trophies and style and world renown, we were the Super Spurs. Yeah. What's it like now? You don't want to have that plastered all over your ownership now, because it really does shame you, quite rightly so.
Yeah.
So I think it's up to us fans, make a bigger deal of it.
It's such a, what's it called? It's tone deafness. It's one of those things you're always taught is you remember your past, so you go into the future. We're not remembering our past. We're deliberately trying to cut our past off from us. We're deliberately trying to remove the culture of the club from the Y word, which needs to be done on another stream, not on here. But we're removing the culture of our club to try and sell ourselves. It seems like we're removing the fabric of the club for the sake of a couple of quid. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable for me.
Yeah, I mean,
if we travelled in time, we would drop somewhere in the 1960s and ask anybody how would you describe Spurs? They would say passing, attacking football, win trophies, that sort of thing. Jimmy Greaves.
Yeah.
It's all about that sort of thing. If you go into the 1980s and you ask, what's Tottenham Hotspur all about? Attacking, passing football, Glenn Hoddle, brilliant stuff, all that. Go into any time in the last 20 years, what's Spurs all about? You've got that 5-year period with Pochettino where the football was good, little glimpses from Harry Redknapp's team. But any other time, you'd say, what are Tottenham all about? And you'd think, I don't know. What is our identity now? So as you're saying, DNA. That was a huge joke when Levy came out and saying about DNA of the club. You look back at the start of their reign here, and we just went from George Graham, who, despite being obviously hated by a large portion of the fans, he's an ex-Gooner, of course he's going to, but he did win a trophy, and we did look like we were being a cup side at that point. So there was something to build on.
Yeah, he brought back a winning mentality.
But we bring in Glenn Hoddle, big fan favourite. Of course he is. He's a club legend.
Yeah.
As I say, Kuva, we hired we sacked the devil to hire God.
Exactly. And the premise for it was to get the Tottenham way back, the way our identity, the way that Tottenham play football, the passing game, the attacking game. We failed to sign Morientes and Eto'o for Hoddle.
Yep.
End up with Zamora and Postiga. Dear God. And then after being told we got rid of George Graham so we can get the Tottenham way of playing football back, we hired Jacques Santini, the most defensive manager I've ever seen in my life, with the possible exception of Alex McLeish. The sort of player is dreadful football. So as soon as you take that on board, that the reason we get rid of George Graham is for the football, and then we hire Jacques Santini, you realise we do not have direction anymore. This is all bullshit words.
Cool. There's more to that. I'm going to go on for quite a bit here, but to start with, I want to just touch on that Jacques Santini thing. Martin Yeo even said it on the We Are Tottenham TV interview that they did. When he was in talks, he was told he was going to be the manager. And then when he came, he got told, no, you're going to be the assistant to Santini. Like, no, but then obviously he became that. Now what you got to remember as well, and I said it on the Irish Hotspur yesterday, when I go mad with my Levy stuff, it's not just because of what goes on the pitch, it's what he does to the club. We're getting rid of history, and it's also how he treats the fans. Now, this is a guy that says we have a no statue policy, and that's because of our religious beliefs in Judaism and everything. Yeah, this is a guy that uses his religious beliefs for that, but yet attends every game on a Saturday and doesn't have one single bit of kosher food in the stadium for people like Ben's family who keep kosher to eat stuff. So you can't, it's not pick and mix, and you can have this because it's religious, and now you can't have that because it's not religious. And Moondog's put in a point, and I will go on record as calling it, like I do, when he said Google's gone quiet.
Yeah.
And as you know, I came on the second Google and everyone was bitching, or not bitching, everyone was going all happy, la-di-da, Google. Oh my God, this is going to be revolutionary for the team. And I was like, whoa. Hold your horses, because last time this happened with Amazon, within a week, it all went quiet.
Molten Brown.
And Dulac Paint became our official sponsor. So I said, you watch. Within a week, the same thing will happen. And what do you know? Within a week, it all went quiet. And as Ben rightly said, we extended our contract with a toiletries firm to be the official toiletries of the football club. And
great result. Big up, Levy.
Mate, so we've got the official paint, we've got the official drinking Coke. And the thing I've said about Coke as well is I think it's in Denver. I believe it's in Denver or Colorado at least. There is the Pepsi Stadium. So whilst you're signing Coke, could you not try, upselling is a key part in everything.
Yeah.
Could you not dangle that carrot and say, do you know what, your biggest rivals have a stadium named after them, and you're sitting here doing nothing? We've got this prime real estate. The only problem I see with that is obviously if it had been Coca-Cola, there would have been a load of red everywhere. And then that whole red blah, blah, blah would kick off again.
On the other hand, what sits on the very top of our stadium?
The cockerel.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. It's all there.
Could you not say that stuff while I'm taking hot tea in my mouth, please? But yeah, like we said, this is the thing. A lot of people, especially for me, and I understand why I get a lot of it, is because they always believe I'm going mad because of what's going on the football pitch. It's so much more, so much more. But that's what can we do? What can we do?
Feel like we're always having this same conversations as well. The only thing that remains consistent is fans not satisfied with what happens.
Yeah.
Well, some are apparently. Something is wonderful. But for me,
Cheers,
identity means everything. I'd love to see what the Ajax system does implemented here. Have a board, well, not a board, but an advisory group of ex-players who oversees the appointment of all the staff, all of the players coming in. You have this committee that know what the club inside out. Getting a Steve Perryman, getting a Glenn Hoddle, those sort of players, ex-players that know exactly what this club's all about and what our traditions are all about. Maintain that over the period of next 50, 60 years at least. Just keep it going. There's a consistency throughout, bringing through the academy players that we all know what's expected of them, how to play, what's expected when they come into the first team. Give them their chances because they've been brought through to fit straight into the team. People love to watch the homegrown players coming in. We really do. We never give them a chance anymore. Have a long-term vision. We never have that. We just go, it's that word flip-flop again, isn't it? We go one direction, then flip to the other direction, and it's all on the whim of the chairman. Take him out of that footballing decisions side of the club. We'd do well. People, you know what? He could win the fans over if he did that. People like me, if we put in place that sort of system where Levy just steps away entirely from the footballing decisions and sticks to the business, I've not got a problem with that.
Yeah,
he could do a good job.
Kuva, you know what? I bring this one up a lot. There's another opportunity that he missed when we moved from White Hart Lane to Wembley, and he said we're going to be back in Tottenham within a year. Who in their right mind actually believed that? Who actually thought the way London is weather-wise, whatever, that this was going to, or construction in London was going to get done that quick? If he had said we're going to be there in 2 years, and we had managed to do a year, the guy looks like an absolute genius. It's like you promised something in 2 years, you delivered it in one. Well done, you've earned your bonus, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But to say a year and then obviously it not happen, you just look a fool. You look a fool. It's like, I'm going to do this in a year. And everyone's like, yes, brilliant, it's going to happen. Never in a million years was a thing in that magnitude going to get done in a year. Never.
In London. In America, yeah. Plenty of space.
Yeah.
Plenty of space, plenty of workers. No need for it's one of the things Chelsea did right with their stadium. This is going to take 3 years. They said it. This is a long project, 3 years, especially where Stamford Bridge is particularly placed. It's incredibly difficult to get materials into that part of London. And Tottenham's just as difficult, especially with the North Circular and the M25. It's just like, it's a very difficult part. And then even worse, he spent double. He spent double the profit, double the money doing it.
Yep.
And then,
to be fair, that part isn't entirely down to Levy, is it? That's cost of materials.
You budget it.
Right. Yeah. You've got to have a contingency plan, haven't you?
The thing where he went wrong with that, Kuva, is he openly came out, and I've got newspaper proof and video proof to say the stadium money is over here. It has nothing to do with transfer fees that are over here. Yeah. And then what do you know? A year and a half without signing a single player.
Which then got put on Pochettino because he kept on offering him crap players.
Or nothing at all.
No, this is the thing. Apparently, Levy offered him a lot of players, but Poch said no. But you can't have your pie and eat it, because when AVB had the bail money and he wanted the players that he wanted, he was told by Levy and Baldini, no, we bring in the players, your job is to coach them. But then you can't go forward and then when Pochettino says no and it means spending no money, go, oh, okay then. Okay, we're not going to bring anyone in because the manager says so. You can't have it that with one manager and a big amount of money you do that, and then when we're fighting for serious stuff, go on, no, the manager says no. Yeah. The manager says no, sir, so we're not going to do this. You can't. Fans don't forget. They don't forget. And that's the annoying thing with it. That's the annoying thing with it.
Yeah. Knew someone who owns. There were problems after problems, most likely because wanted to do it cheaply, and then having to come up with more. It's buy cheap, buy twice.
So do you know what? I can actually tell you a story about the stadium, and this is factual. One of my friends by the Bill Nicks used to have a vape shop there. Like, not like the disposable things, like proper vapes, liquids, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of the construction workers used to go there to get their juices or whatever. And they told him that when it came to the car park, this is just the car park, they had to rip the lighting out 4 separate times because Levy wasn't happy with the lighting.
Yeah.
So you imagine, I don't know what the expense would have been. It wouldn't have been the most expensive thing, but imagine the time and effort that goes into rigging all that electric up, getting the lights set, blah, 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 and then getting told, well, no, I don't like that. Do it again. But
reminds me of when my dad built my house. Didn't like it. Changed it all.
And that was just on the lighting. Yeah. That was just on the lighting. Now, listen, I will go on record and say I've been at that stadium. As Ben's been there hundreds of times. Well, not hundreds, but since that stadium opened, pretty much every home game. There is no denying that it is an architectural masterpiece.
Yeah, it is.
It is a phenomenal stadium. Phenomenal. And for that, some credit goes. But you've kind of not delivered everything you said that will go within that stadium and how this will run. And as Graham always says on these, when Graham comments, where's the boxing money? Where's the NFL money? Where's the Getir training ground sponsorship money? Where's the naming rights? Where's the boxing, NFL, concert? Where's all this money that's going back into the club, which should have been a hefty chunk on top of that 150? Where is it?
Yeah. And then to compound that, all of that, you look at the Gooners. Look at the way they're spending money. Our turnover is about the same as theirs.
Yeah.
Yet they're 300-400 million into the club in recent years. We'll put in some money, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, there's no more available. This bullshit. We've got the money. We just choose not to spend it. You can see that by that 150 million that was made available for improvements both on and off the pitch. Didn't even draw 50 of it out. So there's no intention to go and spend that money on top quality. It's just buy just enough to try and get the job done, barely over the line, which is a top 4 finish again. That's all it reads off to me.
But it's another thing that Graham says. All the players we bought were to replace players that had left. We didn't actually buy and some because we needed that depth. We just replaced players we got rid of, like Bergwijns, and it's not even coming in. But that Bergwijn was replaced by Richarlison. That's not a replacement for Bergwijn. A replacement for Bergwijn would have been another winger or a player of that ilk. We bought players because we got rid of players. Like we bought a centre back in to replace Rodon, but we needed another centre back anyway. So we actually needed 2 centre backs when we got rid of Rodon, who's coming back supposedly because they all hate him in France. Worst signing.
We get rid of Lamela. Okay, lots of people don't rate him. He hasn't been the greatest player in the world for us, but at least he could stand up to challenges and offer something at times. No. We buy in Brian Hill, 25 million plus Lamela, wasn't it? Something along those lines. So we're talking like Brian Hill's worth 40 million.
Yeah.
That barely gets a kick. He wins a penalty and suddenly, he's great. He's the answer to all our problems. All he's done before that is run around a little bit and look like one of the Beatles. That's it.
Run around like this, so people think he's actually looking at the ball.
You got to remember as well, Basuma comes in as a player. Listen, he's going to be a good player. He's got a very good reputation in the Premier League. We know what he's capable of. But we got rid of Lo Celso, Winks, and Ndombele, all on loan. So that's 3 people out. for one person in.
Yeah.
You may have bought a better quality player, but your depth has gone down by 2.
Yeah.
And you look how disastrous the recruitment's been. The very fact that we're all saying if Kulusevski isn't playing, we can't even play a 3-4-3.
Yeah. Which is Conte's system that he wants to play.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Entirely dependent on one player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madness. Yet we've got squad depth, and it was an amazing transfer window. We got a back 5 who can't play football, goalkeeper who can't play out from the back. Who did we buy to replace any of them? We got somebody on loan.
Well, also remember, just we got this huge game against Sporting, and it's breaking like wildfire. Everything that Romero wasn't training today. So our one defender that you could say when he's on his day can pretty much go into any team. He ain't there.
He's not fit. He's not fit because he's had to play, which has probably made it worse.
Well, no, there's big rumours coming out, Ben, that this is which I'm starting to buy into. It's amazing how many injuries he gets before Argentina.
Yeah.
Now listen, like I've said, you know what? It's a World Cup, and as I said yesterday with Paul Gascoigne only got to play in one, bless him. And in that one, all right, he lit it up. 94, England didn't qualify. 98, Glenn Hoddle, obviously. You don't know how many World Cups you're going to play in your career. You really don't, whether it be injury. And I can kind of, or I can't say this, but you can. Argentina are a red hot favourite, or they're a lot of people's favourites. Yeah. And you can kind of see, I want to make sure I'm fit for the World Cup. But it's like if I see him ready, if he doesn't come on, but then for the Argentina's first game, he's in the starting lineup. You're like, well, wait a minute. And Romero big up my brother, my number one brother, my number one Canadian brother. So it's just concerning if he's not playing tomorrow, and that back 3 remains the same. Dyer after that shambolic performance.
Yeah.
Davinson Sanchez, who I try and defend, but really didn't have a good game. Longley seems to be split in a lot of opinions.
I'm not impressed.
Exactly. I don't know again if it's because he came from Barcelona and he's a French international and whatever. But I haven't been impressed. And then we saw yesterday it broke. I don't even know what this means. Only Tottenham Hotspur. We have agreed. We have agreed to verbally discuss Longley at the end of the season. What does that even? I don't even know what that means.
We have secured a maybe.
We have a verbal agreement to discuss. But why have we got a verbal agreement to discuss? We've got a verbal agreement to discuss, even though we've been told he's a stopgap because we couldn't get Pastoni. But now all of a sudden we've got the verbal agreement to discuss. But one thing I will say, we all know what verbal agreements mean with Levy.
Yeah.
So it means, but just this shit that comes out. Cole, you might be right when it comes to Longley, but what you got to do, and I mean this for the whole team, not just Longley, is when you get your opportunity, you have to take it.
Yeah.
We're not a team struggling in mid-table or just trying to get Premier League safety. We generally want to make it a title run in which we're not going to do whatever, but at least Champions League, you need to come in and perform at a certain level. You're a French international. You've played in La Liga for 2 of the biggest teams, or Barcelona, Sevilla. They are one of the big teams. I wouldn't say out of the top teams. You've got to come in and perform.
For me, Longley, he's that player. He's a Ben Davis, but that does everything just a little bit better. He's never going to catch your eye. You're never going to say that's a blinding performance. Yeah. He's a steady Eddie sort of player. If you're getting quality players around him, he'll fit in with them.
Yeah.
He can pass the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't look uncomfortable on the ball at all. He's just a slightly better version of Ben Davis. It's not the game-changing sort of dominant centre-back that we're crying out for. He will help. It will definitely help the team in the long run if we kept him. But that's not what we really need. We need a monster at the back. Yeah. Somebody that can unleash the likes of Romero, let him play with freedom. Instead of having to panic about what's going to come his way if he does venture up the pitch. We didn't do that. We're never going to do that. Instead, Ben Davis, new contract. Now talk of Dyer, new contract. Jesus Christ. We're never going anywhere. I mean, I can't even blame Romero for taking the time out to concentrate on the World Cup. It's the only way he's going to be winning a trophy while he's with us.
Yeah.
Listen, that Dyer rumor, it's got watered down in it with Højbjerg's name mentioned in it.
Yeah.
Is a blatant leak from the club. Is a blatant leak. Not saying from Levy, but we all know that clubs do this and they openly admit it.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it amazing how this Longley thing, Højbjerg, and all these other things came out after he forgot about Bill Nick, after he forgot, and now the transfer window is being questioned, not just by us people that have been questioning it for a long time, but genuine people are like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And it's like, right, the heat's on me. Let's deflect it so people talk. And that's son to Real Madrid. Who in their right mind believes that the club would honestly be talking about handing Dyer a new contract straight after that performance?
Yeah.
You would have mentioned that after his England call-up and said, oh, he's got his England call-up, let's get him a new... You link it then. And then it holds some weight. Not you've had a shit performance, you've done your best YMCA impression, and literally, here you go, here's a new contract. Not a chance. Not a chance. It's just more bullshit being pumped up by the club to stop people talking about the hot topic, which we can't talk about, because we know every time there's been a revolt against him, i.e. Nuno, what happened? When the heat gets turned up, he's called to action. And this is like, oh shit, the heat is getting up on me again. Now it's time to stop people. And it did, because loads of people started talking about Dyer. Loads of people. Across all platforms of social media, YouTube. Amazing how you stopped talking about Bill Nicholson.
Yeah. I just can't believe that. Imagine going into your local news agent and go, I would like to agree to verbally discuss buying a chocolate bar off you.
That's it.
Next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Exactly.
I'm going to buy a chocolate off you next year.
Yeah, it's got to be that specific one. You need to put that away.
Yeah.
And sign it and give me the barcode so I know it is the exact same one.
Yeah.
Don't say barcode after Sunday.
Oh, mate, do you know what? And do you know what I loved as well? Or I didn't love it, but I loved the ethos of it. How Newcastle went and celebrated with their fans.
Yeah.
And they went and stood there after the game. They could have just gone over and given the little clap and walk off. It kind of reminded me of that great day when we beat Man City with Poch and he made his way over to the crowd and everyone. That's what you do. That's what you do. I heard a lot of people say that stayed after the Newcastle game. Ben, I don't know how long you stayed. That Harry Kane was the only one, like he does, to always walk around the stadium. Hugo Lloris just did and walked out. And a lot of them did. We got to remember, Arsenal Fan TV, as much as I hate talking about them, one of the things they were going mad about at the end of Wenger and at the end of is the fans didn't go and acknowledge the away support, which is a sin to me, which is a cardinal sin.
Yeah.
And you see Newcastle go there and celebrate with their fans and do that on our patch.
Yeah.
On our,
look at one of the players they bought. They bought Dan Burn left back. Well, we needed a player, and they signed the player they needed. Dan Burn is a Geordie lad, and he's from the poorest area of Newcastle. And when he signed for Newcastle, because he never actually played for Newcastle, the first thing he did was he bought a house in the poorest area of Newcastle and said, I'm going to fucking make this area better. He's gone back to where he was from. That man knows what the fans think. So it's all big up to Dan Burn. He absolutely knows what his deep respect for him.
Well, do you know what?
Dan Burn.
Look at it as well, Ben. Botman. We were after him.
Yeah.
Look at him. Would he have been able to walk into this defence? Absolutely.
Three times.
Three times.
Absolutely. I'm not going to say Bruno. Yeah. Link with him. Would he walk into our midfield right now?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And people, when they keep naming the youngsters we signed, yes, I get it, and you need to sign some youngsters. We have got a track record where the manager that signs these youngsters don't actually get to use them when they come of age because they're gone.
Well, the only youngster we signed is actually doing well.
Well, no, you
So
look at
Jed Spencer's not playing.
I've forgotten who said it the other night. It might have even been Lee Gunner or someone like that. It was just said, you look around the Premiership, we've got 4 ex right wing backs playing in the Premiership at the moment. We 4 of our ex players, all of them are better than Emerson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's difficult to name them either. Carl Walker-Peters, Carl Walker, Kieran Trippier. Who's the fourth one?
Aurier.
That's the one.
Well, like I said, I went on the Irish Hotspur months and months ago, and I said Aurier in this team would be flying.
Yeah.
Would be flying. It'd still be a disaster waiting to happen. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you can get him to play up the other end of the pitch. That's what he did well. Yeah.
Exactly, because you got Romero there to mop up and do your stuff, and with that back 3, there's that extra security when he was playing in the back 4. All of them. I mean, Trippier we should never got rid of. Do you know what? Carl Walker, I understand why I wanted to go. He wanted to move back up north, be close to his family. He'd given us 7 years. All right, he was the best right wing back in the country, bar none at that time. But I can understand he'd given a lot of time for us, and he wanted to be near his family. Fair play.
He didn't actually want to leave Tottenham. He only left Tottenham because he wasn't guaranteed to be number 1 because of Poch. He would have stayed at Tottenham had we given him those assurances. But the reason Kieran Trippier left because he was playing injured for an entire year, and we didn't sign him back up.
Yep.
You know, everybody. Well, if you study the game, you know the kind of wing backs that Poch wants. You know the kind of wing backs that Pep wants at the City.
Yeah.
The very similar style of play in that respect, and they want athletic, pacey players.
Yeah.
That can go up and down the wing all day long. The first thing they've got to be is top athletes. That is not Kieran Trippier.
Yeah.
Although he's better than anything we got at the moment, he still doesn't fit what the manager required. And then we have to rely on Ben Davies being a wing back. Pace? Really? Yeah. It's like we're being forced to managers constantly. We have managers being forced to make do with players that weren't bought for them, and they weren't even bought to fit the system before them. It's just random pockets of players that the club deems are good enough. We can either make a profit off them or we can get by on them because they don't ask for much in the way of wages, like Ben Davies.
Yeah.
All this comes from the very top, and people can defend Levy all they want. And we have big up Levy, sorry, by the way. But it does come from that lack of vision. It's the lack of forward planning when it comes to the football. Levy's a businessman, and it shows. When it comes to football, there's no consistent plan. There's no long-term plan. We should have an academy that's pumping out players first team ready, not wait until they're 23 before having to sell them on anyway, or losing them because they don't get a chance when they turn 18, 19, which is what we do constantly.
Yeah.
There is no forward planning. It's always reactionary every time. Manager fails, sack him, get a new one in, new style. Oh, the players don't fit. Be patient. We need a rebuild. It's going to take 3, 4, 5 windows. Manager doesn't last that long. New one in. Different style. Yes. All those players just don't fit anymore. Get a new lot in. It's going to take 4 or 5 windows. Be patient.
Yes.
There's just, you've got to get some sort of consistency in there.
Yeah.
And that does come from the chairman, and I will always argue that's my biggest gripe with Levy. Always has been, always will be. I don't believe in him. I don't believe in he doesn't have a vision for the football side of things. It's just winging it one way then another all the time.
Kuva, you got to look at it as well. We let talent like Mark Ande go. We let people like Makawede go, and he rips it up in Holland. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we might have a buyback. But you sign players like Brian Hill.
Yeah.
Jack Clark. Don't forget Jack Clark.
Oh, no, that's the one I actually meant first. Sorry, mate. That's the one I actually meant first. Yeah, that's the thing.
Gedson Fernandez. Gedson Fernandez. What the hell? Why? Somebody please explain to me what that was for.
Instead of Bruno Fernandes.
It's like something that happens because you lose a gentleman's bet or something.
Yeah.
They wanted him because they wanted a Fernandez, but they couldn't get the one they wanted, so they just got any old Fernandez.
You know what?
Right,
I would actually be happy if we were to have a longer term plan and say we're going to invest in the youth, we're going to revamp our academy, we're going to get this style of play that we are going to take forward for the next 50 years, but it's going to take us 5 years, and it might be painful to do that. If I actually saw that put in place and the plan is there is a forward direction, I'd have the patience for that. I know a lot of fans won't because they want instant success.
Yeah.
But I'm not prepared to keep chasing instant success that we do not provide the tools for these managers to come in and provide that instant success. Pochettino gets us so far, we take our foot off the accelerator, even stop buying players. Mourinho, who did we buy for Mourinho?
Yeah.
Who was the great signings for him? It was just a smattering of this will do, gets us by, try and win something out of that. He gets us to the brink of a cup final, and because he prioritises that over league positions, off he goes. It's just ridiculous. It's vision, total lack of vision.
Kuva, it's one of the reasons why, and I can't believe I'm giving so much praise to the filth today. When Arsene Wenger, when they moved to the Emirates, he openly came out and said it. He openly came out and said, right, guys, for the next 4 or 5 years, this is going to be tough. This is we are going to have to sell some players to get this debt down. But once this debt is down, don't get me wrong, that part has fell flat on its face until now. But he came out and wasn't the Kroenke's puppets and keeping quiet. He came out and said everything that was going to happen. He said, it's going to be tough. This is what we got to go through. This is the cost we pay for this stadium. But he was honest. There's just no communication with us. No communication. No communication whatsoever. It's just, that's where we are.
Yeah.
You're saying lack of. I don't understand. So Moondog is saying that enable your tips. The tips should be enabled. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it. Maybe Streamlabs is down, but apologise for that. I don't understand where it is, but I know it has worked. It has worked. Moondog has sent a tip, so big up Moondog sending the tip, and he's saying Levy is a twat. Commentator sound brilliant with the tools he has. He won't get a sharp edge with a blunt chisel.
Moondog, I love you. I love you. I have to say it. Such a great support of all the channels, but what a I've just responded to this, Nick. I will see you in court for such slander. And Rez will be defending me, and that'll be it. And Cole Simpson, this is becoming a class action. I'll see you in court as well.
You're saying lack of vision, Brian. We were in a title race and we signed Ryan Nelson. Oh, I was going to put Ryan in, but I didn't get to press the button. I'm going to say to Tom, please, can you not put politics into the chat, please, Tom? Just as I'm not going to bring up, and please don't any. I'm going to bring it up again. Please, no politics, Tom.
Oh yeah, he's a good lad, is Tom. Though.
Tom's a top man.
Yeah, but here's Ryan, fresh from his breakdown.
Yeah, I was about to say the wheels on the bus go broken down.
Broken down on the bus. Here we go.
Broken down.
Big up, Ryan. How's it going, mate?
All good, apart from breaking down and a few other things in my personal life, but we shall not go into that. Let's talk
exactly.
Then.
Let's do it. What have you got to say then? Ryan?
The fact we definitely need a new goalkeeper now, and all of us need to stop being so sentimental about some of the players that have been here for ages and done so well. Hence the reason why I've been calling out Son lately.
Yeah.
Son the past this entire.
I can't quite hear Ryan.
Yeah, you're breaking up a lot, mate.
Am I still here?
Yeah, very choppy.
Occasionally.
You're very choppy, brother.
Not the best place.
You didn't break down in good mobile data place.
Maybe
Shame
if I
on
get
you.
outside the bus, see if I can get that connection.
At least if you're going to break down, Ryan, break down where there's good
Can't help
mobile
that.
reception.
Did that's any better?
No, to be honest.
I got 4 bars.
Can hear you okay. Picture's a bit choppy, but can hear
Yeah,
you.
turn your, Ryan, turn your
Still
camera
no
off,
good.
brother.
Turn
the
your camera
camera
off. I think we might be able to hear you. But you're saying lack of vision. You're saying lack of vision. We signed Ryan Nelson, Lewis Sahara in a title race. What lack of vision?
Yeah. I love the flag. I do love that flag. I held that banner aloft so happily outside the training ground. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah. And
That's a good
big up
point.
Tottenham. I don't know if this is Stell or if it is Iggy, but big up either way. Oh, I can't hear anything now. What's happening?
No, I think
He's muted himself.
He's muted himself now.
I think he may be having a really good discussion with himself right now.
Brilliant. It's the rain.
Okay, I think you should get Bobby K on here because as I'm just saying to Bobby K's just put something in, and I think it's good. I'm spending the day with him tomorrow, and after that comment, everyone should see him because he may mysteriously disappear for words that he's just said.
But want to go away from the league. I don't understand why we're all talking about flip-flops, but clearly it's a show all about flip-flops. So are we going for Havanas or are we going for Crocs? It's all these flip-flops about. All these. So
Havanas are the ones I have, but I have to admit, Crocs, when I lived in Israel, had just broken into the thing, and everyone, and you're walking along the Tayelet, Ben, and Tayelet is like the marketplace along the beach and everything like that. Every shop was goddamn Crocs. And the one thing I will say with Crocs, my little niece Sophie is obsessed with her Crocs. Like when she's in house, as soon as she's woken up, the first thing she says is Crocs, Crocs, Crocs. So seeing Crocs on kids is always cute, but for me, it's got to be the flip-flop.
Yeah, flip-flops. Moondog is asking if you think we'll sign any quality players in January. No. And for me, this is a very easy answer. No. No.
No, I think my feeling on the transfers at the moment is we still have that colossal problem of not being able to shift players out. And until we start selling some of those players, we won't see anybody coming in. Yeah. And I think we're stuck with that. January, it's not going to happen. I just can't see it. Who's going to buy them? Who's going to buy Ndombele?
Yeah. Who's going to buy Harry Winks, especially after his...
Hear talk of him going to Everton for 25 million. Really? Even Everton aren't going to spend that on him. No. On a free, maybe.
So I will tell you, with Everton, and again, I know this, and Kuva, I played you the voice note as well. You heard it. Harry Winks had done all his media work for Everton. Had done it all. And it was all accepted, all ready to go through. I don't know what broke the deal down, whether it was Levy and Price or Harry Winks had a U-turn. That part, I don't know.
Perhaps they just watched him play.
It could have been Everton going, what the hell are we doing? But that deal was practically done. Like I said, the media work, the interview, the holding the shirt, that had all been done. That had all been done. God knows why it broke down. And listen, I've said as well with this, I went on the stream as well saying, you know what, we've got to stop attacking individuals. I know it's very, very easy to like Hugo Lloris and his mistakes, but the goalkeeper, there's nowhere to turn. There's nowhere to turn, and we all know that. But with Harry Winks, as this guy who knows Harry Winks in one of my groups said, he used to get battered and slandered and banter at him for saying backwards, sideways, backwards. We associate backwards, sideways with Harry Winks. Well, Harry Winks ain't even in the country anymore, let alone the team. And what are we doing? Backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways.
Yeah.
So listen, I don't think Harry Winks should wear a Spurs shirt again. Not because it's not even because he's shit.
Yeah.
It's because he has reached his ceiling, and his ceiling isn't even in the fucking footings of our standards. No. He's just not there. If he had gone to an Everton, if he had gone to a Villa, a Brentford, another Premiership team, he could slot right in and do a great job. Where the expectations aren't as high as ours, but
I don't know. I don't think he could for not Premier team.
I'm just going back from back, or maybe a Spanish team or European, but he hasn't played for Sampdoria.
Yeah, somebody without the physical side of the game, because that seems where his biggest weakness to me. Because he does not stand up physically, easily brushed off the ball, loses it constantly when put under pressure. I think he's going to play in a slower tempo sort of game, with a lot less physical. So perhaps Spain
or Italy for them. And we're going to move away from this because Ryan has got a very interesting question. What's the best biscuit for a coffee?
Oh, Kit Kat, obviously.
Bastard. Well, we're going to answer this properly. So everyone in the chat, put your answer in. And if anyone says Kit Kat, you're banned.
Kit Kat. It's Kit Kat.
We'll find out after next Monday's stream with the Paul Stewart pumpkin off, which we're going to, again, re-announce. Paul Stewart Pumpkin Challenge next Monday at 2 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, because Greenwich Mean Time is back, baby, from Sunday onwards.
Seriously, though, Ben, Kit Kat, only time in its entire history that's been taken to court over whether it's a biscuit or a chocolate in India, and biscuit won. It's legally binding in India. So that's one for one.
So what we're saying is, because Bobby K is an Indian from Canada, and Canada frankly says that a Kit Kat is a chocolate bar on their website.
Not legally, they don't.
They do.
It's not bound in law.
But it is on their website, and that is as good as law.
But they put that on their website. Oh, it doesn't matter. There's legal precedents in India. That's it. Show me some more where it's been taken to court and the court
Bobby
decides.
K needs to end this debate. So Bobby K, you need to be here next week.
all I'm saying is 1 billion Indians can't be wrong with their legal system. So you're racist if you disagree.
Ginger nut, baby. Bobby, that's not even what is this, Bobby? Now you're just being
that's just being silly now, isn't it?
He does love his Yorkie. He does. I had to bring them back for him. He does love his Yorkies. He does love his Yorkies.
I'm not a chocolate fan in the slightest, but a Yorkie's pretty special. On a cold day and you got a bar of Yorkie and that immense effort it takes to snap a piece off.
Yeah.
I think, this is proper chocolate.
Shut up.
Mate, do you know what? Trying to break one of those off, Kuva, is like when we had those shatterproof rulers at school and literally trying to break them. It's like, Jesus Christ, what do I need to do to get into this thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Since Kuva wants to dunk a chocolate bar, I want to do the same. Big up, Sanjay.
No, I don't need to dunk it.
But Canada isn't a real place, apparently. On the way. Big up. So I think we all need to go mad at Ian for saying that biscuits go with sausages and gravy. What's wrong with you?
No, you should know that. I think what he's talking about as well. Do you remember when you went to Popeyes and you get a biscuit?
It's not a biscuit. It's a
I know that. I don't eat the things, and I don't understand. But I don't even understand. Like when I first moved over here, and I heard there's an actual meal called biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
I was like, is that some kind of sweet thing, and the gravy is like maple syrup or something along those lines? But no, I've even seen it on MasterChef, and they do like secret. It's a huge thing here, so I think that may be the biscuits Ian is alluding to, as opposed to the sweet things you dunk into tea.
Biscuits go in tea and coffee, not with sausages.
And let's not forget, you can also get urinal biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to stick one of them in your mouth. David is going to back me up here. No, he's not.
No, I backed him up. I think he may have commented that that I was going down that kind of biscuit route. I think I tried one bite of it, but it's just when it's called a biscuit, and it's like a scone.
It's like a savoury scone.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. But I've never had biscuits and gravy. I've not really tried biscuit. But it's like I said, it is a massive massive staple here in North America. Huge.
Canada is a territory of the US. Oh my God.
Who said that?
Some Canadians.
Holy fuck.
Scots will come in.
To be fair, there is a ha-ha at the end, so
Listen, someone once said to me, and an American said this to me once, when you look at America and Canada, someone said Canada is the penthouse and America is the crystal meth lab at the basement.
Oh God!
Like, but this was an American that said it. So it's not my views. It's not my views. But when someone said it to me, I was like, there's parts of America that obviously aren't good, like Canada. But I must admit that I regularly say this. Since I've moved here, obviously I haven't spent a lot of time in America, but I've met more Americans. It's amazing, even with everything, how things that share the border can be so different.
Yeah,
literally sharing the border. It's bizarre to me, but I love the American people, and I've not done enough of America.
America's great.
But yeah, I don't know. See, I've got on to biscuit and gravies to talking about the American people. I apologise. That's not where I meant to be going.
The two little things that always spring to mind was saying when it comes to the difference between the two nations. You take one of the Great Lakes, like let's think one that's going up between both Lake Superior must be between both Canada and the US or something like that. Trying to think who's on it now. You go. I think it was filmmaker, a bit controversial, and some people don't like it, but the filmmaker Michael Moore, and he was doing a little documentary on gun ownership, and he was pointing out that you can go on one city in the US where everybody's doors locked, very suspicious of strangers, guns at the ready sort of attitude. Go across the lake to Canada, everybody's doors unlocked. They're all happy with people, no trusting of strangers, welcoming. And I said, and somebody replied with, "Oh, that's why in the US you got to have all the guns." And then he pointed out that they actually have more guns in Canada than in the US per capita.
Per capita, yeah.
Yeah, it's just they don't have that fear that goes with it. They don't have the you look at the movie, you look at the news channels and things. There's not all this constant fear mongering. It's
the UK had pre-60s as well. I mean, it's what most of the UK has in, like, say, Dorset and Devon. They still leave the doors. Still unlocked.
It needs a bit of work, mate.
Dorset.
I don't know. You're there near enough, I suppose.
Near enough.
Whenever I hear accents, have you all seen that Michael McIntyre skit when he talks about accents?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I love that bit. He goes on about my favourite accent in the UK. I love the Geordie accent. I absolutely love it.
Phil's just being ridiculous, saying, but Mars gets dunked in a tea. What's happening, Phil? I think we need an intervention.
Yeah, I totally am against any chocolates being dunked in tea. Yeah.
What is happening, Phil?
And some biscuits as well. You don't dunk Garibaldi's in tea.
Yeah. What the hell is it? Have you actually heard someone do that?
Well, you can't, can you?
No, yeah, they best not. Those kind of people are probably the people that put the milk in before the water.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even start. No.
Yeah.
That's madness that's beyond.
Unless it's from a teapot. Actually, no. Tea before what? Are you talking pre-brewed tea?
No, I'm talking when you do a tea bag.
Hot water.
I'm talking about when you do what my ritual for when I make a tea is tea bag in.
Yeah.
Sugar in.
Yeah.
Oh, no, stop.
But the only other time I put sugar in after the water is if that spoon's already wet, and I don't want it all sticking in. So I literally put the water in, then the sugar. So that's the only time. But I've seen people literally make me a cup of tea and put the milk in first. I'm like, what the hell do you think you're doing? And then they're like, they're making you a cup of tea, and I'm like, no, you're not making me a cup of tea, not in that manner.
Yeah.
Just no.
The only time the milk should come before the actual tea is if it's from a bone china cup and you've got a teapot. And
one of those little like the individual sort of tea cafetiere type things.
Yeah.
Kuva, you ready to smile?
I am.
Oh.
Let's bring in the mascot. Where is he? There he is.
Hey,
There is
one of the greatest living things alive. Well, obviously,
yeah.
Oh no, Moondog.
Without a doubt.
You're not putting
Look at
water
him.
in
Look at
afterwards,
him.
are you? Oh no. Oh
He is.
no.
I'm trying to have a debate. I haven't had the debate with Alana. It's one I'm going to lose, but I'm taking him to London with me. I'm going to lose that fight. I'm not even going to try and.
It's not fair on him. Well, you wouldn't.
Oh no.
No.
Going to London. Also, I'm going to be here, there, and everywhere, so it's not fair on him. When of course he rules this house. He rules this house without even so.
You should get one of those little like GoPros for cats.
Yeah.
So you can check him out what he's doing.
That's not a bad idea. That's not enough.
Stream that on Tottenham on Tour. We should stream that on Tottenham on Tour. Simba's journeys.
We should do. Well, I should do it during a match day, and he can be Simba's vlog. How's Simba saw the game?
Oh, I see what you mean now.
That's what we could do.
I wondered what Simba's log was going to be.
Vlog. A log. I'm definitely not going to be doing Simba's log. That won't get many views.
No.
Apart from 3.
No. Someone's going to.
Go on. I'll still watch it, but I won't be impressed.
Moondog has dropped a few ranks. Lol. You don't seriously put milk then water, do you, Moondog?
Do you know what? It depends. I think there's some cultures with their tea as well. Maybe that is the way they do it. And if I go to a country and it's their like I'm having a tea from there, the way they make it, then I'll do that. But if I'm home or here,
the science even makes it wrong. Why do the likes of Starbucks always do bad teas? It's because the temperature is set for a coffee. It's not at boiling point. It's just it's below boiling point. Tea needs boiling water to brew properly. So if you put the milk in first, it will never be at boiling point. You've got to have those 3 minutes of boiling the bag or boiling the leaves. If you don't, you've messed up. I'm sorry, but you were an amateur, and you shouldn't be commenting on how to make tea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Learn. Ideally, you warm the cup first as well.
Yeah, warm the cup, because then you don't.
I've never done that.
And take your time. It's not a rush.
Yeah.
Just do it correctly. Ben will know it all from the coffee side, but of course he knows the tea side as well. Yeah. The man's not an idiot. He knows how to prepare drinks.
Ben, do you drink tea?
Yes.
Okay.
I drink higher quality. I'm not a builder's tea person unless it's what's available. It's not my thing. It's the same thing with coffee. I don't drink instant coffee. I drink good quality tea.
I do love a builder's tea, but also one of the things I love doing as well now is I love these herbal teas. I love or fruit flavored, whatever. Some of them, like the Twinings ones, blueberry and apple and other things like that. They're incredible.
Oh, here's a question for you, because I like those as well, but I treat them in an entirely different way to a normal tea, as you'd have to.
Yeah.
Do you leave the bag in there constantly?
Yeah.
Or do you so
100%.
Actually, because you want it to, by the time you're halfway through the cup, you want the remaining half to be stewed.
Exactly. There was a wiki one. I can't remember the name of the company, but it was licorice and peppermint, and it was a banging tea. Banging.
Licorice, I couldn't drink that.
It was that, but there's loads of ones with Twinings, and then they did out these ones like Cherry Bakewell and Gingerbread Man, and mate, on a winter's day where you don't want the caffeine as much or as intense, there are some banging teas out there.
I quite like some of the Turks are mad on apple tea as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
I have that always when I go into the Turkish restaurants. Always, it's incredible.
So much good tea culture. I personally like the South African, the chocolate tea from South Africa, because I love chocolate, as everyone knows. That's really good for someone like me as well, for my stomach and all that nonsense.
That's what peppermint tea as well. Peppermint tea. Do you know what? I think I've only had it once. I wasn't the biggest fan of chamomile, but maybe it's
really good if you want to settle your mind. It's really good.
Yeah, I never need to settle my mind. My mind is completely fine. I don't have twisted thoughts or outrageous things to do or whatever. No. I don't need the calm. I I'm pretty calm now.
I thought it was
there
really
is one.
style.
Yeah, there is one I have an intense hatred for, though, and that's pretending that Earl Grey is proper tea.
Yeah,
I can't stand it.
Absolutely hate it.
Yeah,
It's like some. To me, it tastes like having a normal tea bag, and then giving it to some rich bird who wipes it under her armpit to get the perfume off.
yeah. It's one of those things. Earl Grey should not go with milk at all. Doesn't work. Perfume and milk does not work. You're supposed to have it with lemon, as it said in the film The Da Vinci Code.
Do you know what? Let's do this full circle as well, Ben. What I need to ask Ben and Kuva is, what is your favourite footwear that you like to wear whilst drinking tea?
Bare feet.
No flip-flops?
Flip-flops.
No.
Don't like flip-flops.
Definitely not flip-flops.
Okay.
You don't want to be carrying around hot beverages wearing flip-flops.
That's actually a very good point.
Flip-flops always make your day worse. It's not good.
You can't afford to be doing it anyway. Especially if you're going from one drink, a nice cold drink, say a beer on the Sunday evening, and then you're having tea on the Monday morning. You can't be flip-flopping around, can you?
Yeah, flip-flops are never good.
You pick one and go with it. It's not flip-flops. That's always out.
Rocking some slip-on slippers. Carl has it right. In the chair, newspaper.
No, mate. Do you know what? I'm bringing my slippers with me to London. I've got one of those like the boot ones that are just like Uggs, but they're not Uggs. They are not Uggs. They're like Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
But those kind of boots that have got the fur lining, especially here in the winter. Oh my God, I love putting them on.
Best ones I ever had, slipper-wise, are moccasins.
Yes.
They are exceedingly comfortable.
That's bare feet for winter.
You got a point. You've got a point.
But you're from Norway, so -20 is not cold for you, Kiva. So
it's cold, mate. It's still pretty bloody cold, mate.
It's cold, but it's just like
I have
if
experienced.
you're in the UK and it's 7 degrees, you're like, oh, this is all right. Short.
Oh yeah, I'll wear shorts and t-shirt, no problem.
Yeah.
The concerning thing for me is where and Ian might be able to say the same with parts of America when it gets winter. You're going to a Tim Hortons or be walking down the street and you will see people in -20, 30. They're just walking around in t-shirt and shorts. And I mean, when I come back to England during the winter, I don't feel the cold. Like I do feel cold, but nowhere near to the extent, obviously, you guys, because I'm so familiar with it here. But when I see people in -20 and 30 and they're walking around in bloody t-shirts and shorts, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
What offends me more is people are still going to Tim Hortons after I made that scathing review of it. Clearly, people don't listen to me.
Yeah, but mate, as good as you are, and as well as you know your coffee, trying to turn 27 million Canadians or whatever it is off of coffee and Tim Hortons, you could be the biggest. You could be Logan Paul, and you're not going to do a goddamn job getting them.
Challenge accepted.
There you go. Let's see. Hashtag Ben takes down the coffee. The Kaufman takes down Tim Hortons. Yeah, there you go.
To be fair, despite my Norwegian sort of background from mum's side, in Norway, coffee is basically the man's drink. They would say tea is a lady's drink there, as traditionally, because it's a little bit more dainty. It's as you said, Ben, it's supposed to be in a sort of porcelain cup, that sort of thing.
And you got to drink it with your little finger showing.
Where I think it comes from the fishing background, basically. Like my cousin, they always had this black kettle pot on board his little boat for going out on the fjords and fishing. And at 4 a.m, you want to be warmed up. You just lift up this kettle and pour out a bit of the coffee that's been in there. The kettle hasn't been cleaned for about 10 years. It's black crusted on the inside. And this stuff is beyond rocket fuel. This will basically keep you awake for about a fortnight. I think that's where it comes from. So tea's a little bit more of a take your time, relax. Coffees keep you going. Having said that, I'm not a coffee fan.
I do like a good coffee. The one thing I still don't understand to this day is why people, after you have a dinner party, say, or go out for a meal, late at night or at any time, go, would you like a coffee afterwards? I don't. Decaf, whatever, I understand, but it's the end of the night. You may have work tomorrow, the weekend off, and you want a coffee. So
I know, I agree. Nightcap, I understand.
Yeah.
Just have a little shot of something. Just get you in the nice, happy mood before going to bed. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Makes no sense to me either.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that, Ben?
Coffee is a drink that gets you up in the morning, not before you go to bed.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can drink coffee late at night because I'm desensitized to coffee because I drink so much of it because I work with it and I get caffeine oil in my hands. So I don't actually really need to drink coffee because I'm working so much with coffee. It seeps through your fingers. But normal people shouldn't have to drink coffee late at night. It doesn't work, especially like pure espresso. Don't drink that. It's not going to be good for your stomach. You need something that's going to settle your stomach.
I've got a question for you both to get us back onto the correct track.
Okay.
We've been talking about footwear. We've been talking about beverages.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the most ridiculous combination of footwear and beverage?
Flip-flops and whatever you like.
Okay, keeping it simple. I like it.
All right. I'm gonna have to think. I'm gonna have to nail this down because Ben has given a very wide spectrum. Let's try and home in on this. This may take a while. So flip-flops will definitely be the attire of footwear.
I'm actually going to go the opposite. I'm going to go a little bit out there. Bear with me on this one. Mint julep and deep sea diving boots.
He has really homed in. Anything I say now is just second fiddle. So you might have a point with the deep sea. Like you're talking like flippers.
No, the heavy weighted diving boots for going down like 10 miles and never coming up again.
I'm going to go flippers and champagne.
I think I've seen that.
That just defies better. It's like why?
Yeah. Could go with that.
Yeah.
Glocks.
What are you doing, Carl?
I think he's talking about guns and chocolate.
Bourbon and space boots.
Bourbon and space boots. If you invite him for coffee afterwards, it's not what it means. Oh yeah.
No. He's right there, but I'm talking about in a restaurant. So where you're going with that, Stuart, if someone says to you, would you like a coffee at a restaurant? That doesn't mean the same as would you like to come upstairs for coffee? If it did, there will be some very, very interesting restaurant action going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it mean the waiter wants to shag you if he asks?
Yeah. In case if that was the case, I missed some golden opportunities before I was married.
So if you say, "Oh yes, I'd love a coffee, please," and then a few minutes pass and the lights all dim, bit of Barry White starts playing in the background, waiter's coming out, put your trousers back on, mate.
So it's got to be flip-flops and Tim Hortons coffee.
Listen, I might start taking this as a racial slur, Ben.
I love everything else Canada, but Tim Hortons is offensive to me, especially the coffee at Mars Diner up in Eglinton. I don't know how many Mars Diners there are, Brian. But
Mars, you didn't like the coffee there, or you did like the coffee there?
No, it was horrific.
Okay, but the food at Mars Diner was good.
It's really good.
Yeah, Mars Diner. Do you remember when I said to you, "There's a wicked"? I'm so happy you went there. I love Mars Diner. For me, you got to remember as well, coming from England, and I don't have the caffeine palate of yourself, and I'm going to make the same mistake when I go back to England because I've done it every single goddamn time. As you know, you go to any kind of cafe like that or any other places, and the coffee's refillable, so you're not really bothered about you can have as many as you want. But every single time I get back to London, every single time, the first thing I do, no matter what the time, is go to a Greasy Spoon, and I have the full works, and I have about 6 or 7 coffees because of the jet lag and the time difference, and I get my bill, and it's like 12, 13, 14 pound more than I think it's going to be. I'm like, what's this? And they go, well, you had a full English and 6, 7 coffees. And I'm like, yeah. And they go, you pay for your coffees? I was like, oh, shit. And they're like, why? And I was like, I live in Canada where every single time I do it, and I will do it again. It's kind of become, I don't know if it's become more of a tradition than an actual genuine forget. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Stuart's misbehaving in chat.
As
Ignore
always.
it, Ryan. Don't fall for it.
Oh, Stuart. Oh, Stuart. Oh, that thing just will not die. No matter what, it just will not die. And I will. My revenge on Bob Spur will be lovely.
Bobby K saying barefoot, topless, pumpkin spice coffee from Tim Hortons. Amazing way to start the day.
Oh, I'll join you in that one. That's what we'll do tomorrow, Bobby. Before I do the pump up on We Are Tottenham TV and we watch the football together. Let's go to a Tim Hortons, barefoot, topless, and get a pumpkin spice coffee.
Yeah, that pumpkin spice cappuccino was one of the worst things I've ever tasted in my life.
Ilana loves her pumpkin spice stuff. Not saying that actual thing. She does love her pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
She's very seasonal. And Halloween is actually her birthday. So it's the one time she gets... And I can't believe, mate, over here as well, the size of how Halloween is celebrated compared to back home is... I can't believe just how massive Halloween is over here. It's like... It's mesmerizing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit that the kids have gone up with their mum to see a family in Leeds over the half term, coinciding with their little Halloween party. They still make a big deal of it. Their mum's always been big into having these sort of festive parties. I've never been big for it. I'll just basically tape a Kit Kat on the door. And then last time I did that, there was a note left there saying, why are you giving me biscuits?
Yeah. It's not acceptable, Kuva. It's not acceptable.
No, never been big for it. It's just huge in America, isn't it? I think I quite like the idea of Thanksgiving as opposed to Christmas as well, because I think it means more.
Yeah.
It's where Thanksgiving is obviously it's earlier here than it is in the States. Something to do with we do it before the harvest starts, and that America does it for when the harvest ended, and then obviously Black Friday comes after that one. But yeah, it's a big thing, and obviously it's something again that I never experienced back home. It's like one of the things I love about Canada. Like I couldn't believe it the first time I came here. We have a bank holiday here in Canada. I think it's the 3rd Monday in February or whatever it may be. And I thought it was a joke, but it's actually called Family Day.
Yeah.
There's a day that is literally you don't go to work, and it's meant for obviously people do other things. But it's Family Day where you're meant to. I was just like, is this some kind of wind up?
And speaking of Family Day, yo.
There he is.
Anyone looking for a car?
Yeah.
No? I'm always looking, mate. Never driven one, but I can always look at one.
Anyone looking for a car? No? Oh, okay.
See you later.
Yeah. That was short and sweet.
That really was.
Yeah.
That really was.
Who says you can't mix work with pleasure?
That's it. That's it. I would have loved it if someone had come on and said, genuinely, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Would you like a virtual test drive?
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. And then obviously Ben, you got
test drive. That's GTA, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, you're bang on. You're bang on. Which stands for the greater Toronto area.
Yeah.
There is great evidence to suggest that all computer gamers have an advantage when it comes to learning to drive.
Yeah.
Because you've got the hand-eye coordination.
I don't. I just run about shooting aliens.
I have never, ever, ever driven a car in my life. Not even a friend's in a car park.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm 43 years old.
You've chosen the wrong country to move to then, because you need a car to get anywhere.
Yeah, do you know what, Ben? As well, you're right with the size of this country, but I haven't done it at all. But I need to do it a lot more. And Ilona and I keep saying it. When you're going quite far here, the drives, like you saw on the drive to Niagara, Ben, there are some wonderful scenic things to see and whatever. And this country, no matter how huge it is stunningly beautiful.
Yeah,
it's stunningly beautiful. Yes, it's easier to go by car. You just pick up and go. But to travel by train or by coach or by car, it's just outstanding. It's just outstanding. But you're right. For trying to get around, compared like put it this way, a 5-hour drive for people back home is a long ass drive. Yeah. Here it's popping out for some milk.
Yeah,
the size of it, it's just ginormous.
Well, you could just get a little harness for Simba and send them off to the shop with a note, shoebox or something to drag along behind. Just put some biscuits like Kit Kats or something.
Kuva, there's a woman round the corner from us that actually takes her cat out for a walk on a lead.
Yeah, it's quite a big thing nowadays.
I'm looking at her like, are you serious? Are you actually? It blows my mind.
Well, we've got bears that will swoop out of the woods every 5 seconds, haven't you?
Coyotes, mate. We've had a coyote walk across our grass. I mean, coyotes are quite common here. Raccoon, mate. Honestly, for the first time ever, I think I've been here about 2.5 years, and I went to take the rubbish out, and I opened the bin, and a raccoon leaped out, not towards me, but away from me.
Yeah,
mate. It was pitch black at night. I thought I'd been punked or something. I was like, "What the hell is going?" So, mate, scared the absolute shite out of me.
Bloody raccoons, eh?
Yep. Do you remember the cartoon show about them? Kuva, Kuva, do you remember? I'm going to have to find it now. I'm going to have to find it.
Remember Bodger and Badger, and that's about it.
If there's people in the chat that may remember that, what was it? I bet it's now. I'm looking for the name of it. I bet it was going to be called The Raccoons.
Probably.
Big up Bodger and Badger. Everyone knows Bodger and Badger.
Yeah, it was called The Raccoons. Wait, let me show the picture and see if that reminds you, Kuva.
I've seen it, but
I recognise it, but it's not something I used to watch.
Yeah, trust me, they are not as friendly as they look in the cartoon. Funny that, eh?
Mind you, I'm older than you, Brian, so perhaps I'd grown out of it all by that point.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, Carl remembers.
The essential viewing for when I was a kid coming back from school, it would be one cartoon called Battle of the Planets.
Yeah,
G-Force and all that. I think they call it Goose Force now. There's something that's still going in some sort of way. But
for me, it was He-Man, Thundercats, Mask, and also, and I keep forgetting the name of this goddamn show, and I loved it. It was a young guy and a girl, but they had a car or shit that could change into anything. Oh, and Inspector Gadget. Don't forget Inspector Gadget. That was quality.
Oh, in that case, I'll throw in Trapdoor as well.
Oh, mate, I remember Trapdoor. And Morph and all those things with Tony Hart.
Take Heart with Morph. Oh, brilliant stuff. Yeah.
Mate, they were things. They were wicked. Cars again with Transformers. Here we go, Transformers. Mate, whenever you get onto cartoons, there were some wicked ones, and obviously you had Street Hawk and Knight Rider as in proper shit to watch that weren't cartoons, mate. And I'll tell you what,
and the A-Team, of course.
Oh, mate, how can you not have the A-Team? But did anyone else see when Knight Rider did a reboot? And it was done about maybe 5-6 years ago. Maybe not. They only did one series, but it's bloody good.
Was it? Was it?
Yeah, really was. Really was. I mean, obviously, it's got a huge thing it's got huge shoes to fill. Would I say it filled them? I wouldn't say it was as good as the original Knight Rider because you put it close to heart. But the reboot was really, really good.
Was it still David Hasselhoff?
No, David Hasselhoff is in the first one.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
But
The reboot, though.
No. I mean, he's in the first episode of the reboot.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's his kid that he didn't know about. But no, do you know what? Honestly, it's really good. It's really good. Anyone that hasn't seen it, definitely, it's worth a watch. It's nostalgic.
Maybe it's a part of my character trait here, but I was never interested in Knight Rider until I knew about an episode where there was Kit had his nemesis car, I think it was called, and it was the evil version of his car.
Yep.
And I just thought, oh, this is good now. It's like with Star Wars. Everybody's like, Luke Skywalker and all that. And I was always thinking, Darth Vader is kick-ass.
Yeah.
See, Cole Simpson watched it and enjoyed it. And I have to say, what you just said, not to give you any spoiler alerts, but something similar. When sport, when a question of sport said, what may have happened next? I'll go with what you just said. May or may not have had a similar storyline at some episodes in the reboot.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm lying.
That would make sense because it was the only one I wanted to really watch.
Yeah.
Caught the imagination.
It's when I watched it, Kuva, it's one of those, when you're just chilling and you want something in the background and you just watch it, but you're not giving it your full attention, but it's just there to keep. Yeah. It's one of those, and I gradually went from being something in the background to this is good, but I recommend it.
Remember the good old days of the Superman movies when it was Christopher Reeve?
Oh, mate.
I couldn't give a toss about Superman. He's not my kind of superhero at all. I like him way more fallible than that. But I didn't care about the first Superman movie. But then Superman 2 comes out. 3 supervillains. Oh, yeah, I'm on board with that. Yeah. Plus, they're wearing black PVC. Look, just kick ass. Yeah. There we go. What was that car?
That may or may not have been the name of the episode that may or may not have happened that was similar to the one you wanted to see. Maybe.
Yeah. I'll go and check that out, actually. Yeah.
Maybe.
What's your feeling that they're possibly looking at not rebooting, but making a sequel to Man of Steel with Henry Cavill? I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all
for it if they keep it really sort of brutally dark. Yeah.
You've seen the Snyder Cut, right?
Yeah, it's all right. It was all right. It was better than the version that wasn't the Snyder Cut.
I want to see that evil future Superman just be evil. I want to see that.
So Ben, you know me with movies ain't the best. Of all these superhero ones that I've actually watched and I will watch every time they come out, I do like a good Spider-Man. Yeah, I do. My number one is Iron Man.
Yeah,
unquestionably. The Incredible Hulk. And just for comedy, because I love Paul Rudd as well. When Ant-Man, I love Ant-Man. He's hysterical. He's hysterical. But yeah, all these Supermans, Captain Americas, and all that. Yeah, it's not me, but definitely Spider-Man and Iron Man. Definitely, like if another one came out tomorrow, I'll be going to see it without fail. But yeah, they're only the real two. Superman with all these reboots, I've not seen a single one of them.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Henry Cavill was excellent as Superman. I can't believe they stopped doing them. I mean, man looks like Superman. Like, he couldn't look more like Superman if it tried. But maybe they're going to do it.
I love the Thor movies as well. I mean, Thor's always one of my favourite superheroes. But for me, Thor Ragnarok, Kate Winslet being an absolute evil bitch queen.
It's Kate Blanchett. It's Kate Blanchett.
Sorry, Kate Blanchett, not Winslet. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, was she going, Jack, come back, Jack? She still, she appears on that iceberg, just floating.
She is an unbelievable actress.
She's phenomenal. She's outstanding.
I mean, you saw how. Spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen The Rings of Power. Galadriel that isn't Kate Blanchett is not Galadriel. Galadriel is Kate Blanchett. Those two are inseparable. They did an all right job, but Kate Blanchett is Galadriel. Like, it's just like miles apart.
But always thinking all of these though, it's so important to get the villain right. Otherwise, it's pointless.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, not even so much a villain. It's like the last movie I saw in the cinema was the Elvis movie. And even Tom Hanks playing the crooked kind of agent that was out for himself. Whatever that man touches is just he is for no matter what it is, whether it be Buzz Lightyear, whether it be whatever. One of his very, very first films that my sister used to be obsessed with, if people have seen The Money Pit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The movie she's seen as even back in that day, he makes movies.
He was excellent as Geppetto as well in Pinocchio. He was the one highlight of that Pinocchio film was Geppetto, how good he was.
Yeah, I've learned now, Ben. After one of my favourite movies growing up as a kid was Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Love Mary Poppins. Yeah. Ilana doesn't really like it. She says it's 7 hours long, and she jokes about that. And then every Christmas here, the Jewish people on Christmas Day go to the cinema and then go for Chinese. It's like an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
And obviously there's my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and Ilana. And the year before that, because we all vote on which movie to see, and funnily enough, I get outvoted every time 3-1. Yeah. The first one we saw was Star Wars. Now, I had a deal with, I hadn't seen any of Star Wars at all until I moved here. And then Ilana and I had a deal with Fast and Furious for me, a Star Wars for you. But we went to see that Mary Poppins movie, the reboot. And I was so excited because it's Mary Poppins. I thought, here we go, this is going to be good. Within 25 minutes, I didn't watch any more of the movie. I just watched Ilana bobbing her head and singing along and dancing. It was the worst. So when you say reboots like Pinocchio, I don't care who's in it. Apart from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, then I am forced to watch it.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is Geppetto.
No, I just listen, mate. Mate, I've watched The Tooth Fairy. I've watched a lot. If he's in it, I'm watching it, and it's an unwritten rule that I have to. But when it comes to these kind of when it comes to these reboots and stuff like that of childhood things, I'm not even entertaining it anymore. What
is your name, puppet? My name's. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Just friggin'. Yeah,
no,
but
I puppet and shut your damn mouth.
A separate string just for the eyebrow.
See, I think Phil's even saying Hollywood Phil is even saying the reboot was quality of Knight Rider. You're gonna have to give it a go, Kuva.
Like I said, I was not keen on Knight Rider in general, but it was just that one episode caught my eye. I thought that's the way to go.
Five Guys asking.
I'm with Carl Simpson there. I'm with Carl Simpson when he says I love a villain. Not quite sure what else to say about me. I'm the same. It's always the baddie that makes it.
It's one of the things I really didn't like about Ring. They made the Dark Lord Sauron look cool. And that's a real problem for me because Sauron's not cool in the slightest.
I just want to elaborate on what Carl Simpson just said. Did I watch the Jungle? Welcome to the Jungle. I've watched literally every movie he has done, and if I'll give you a warning, if anyone is in the movies or at the cinema when I'm back home, and you're in the cinema, if I'm there and it's a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie, or it's not, and he comes up on a trailer. The very first second I see him, I scream at the top of my voice if you smell what The Rock is cooking. So you will know if I'm in the cinema. If you're just sitting there in the cinema and a Rock thing and you hear that, it's me. It's me. Yeah. The obsession is deep.
Yeah. Big up The Rock.
I had a friend of mine similar views on Arnie Schwarzenegger. I remember going to watch Total Recall with him. We'd had a little bit of drink before we went to watch it. There was a group of about 8 or 9 of us. As soon as the name comes up with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he just punched his fist in the air and went, "Yo, Arnie!" And a whole audience just burst into laughter at him.
You got to. You got to.
I want to see The Rock as Geppetto now. Reboot Pinocchio again.
That's a different stream. You could think of a character and just say, what movies would it be funny to see him in?
The Rock can play any character.
Oh, mate, he is like I said. I know a lot of stuff behind the scenes before wrestling. His upbringing, is this, is that. It's really quite worrying that I'm actually admitting all this live on YouTube. So okay, Brian's a stalker. But where he's coming, he often speaks like when he was so big and he moved into Hollywood. They're like, you're gonna have to lose weight. You're gonna have to reform and kind of bend to Hollywood rules. And he was like, no, you're gonna bend to. He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant.
He's the most electrifying man in all of entertainment.
In all of entertainment.
He's the man. The only thing
he's also the only person that could have made all of Schwarzenegger's films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine Terminator, says nothing but occasional eyebrow raise.
Oh, mate, can you imagine? Or he goes like that when he does his Just Bring It.
Tip down the glasses and just to look over the sofa.
There you go. There you go.
If I want to watch that now, make it. Go and remake it all.
I think I know what Ben's going to have as his show tomorrow. Movie stars and what roles could they have played?
Yeah, we're doing that. Sorted.
Oh, here's one downside to The Rock. Can you imagine him playing a villain?
Yes, because that's how he became famous in WWE. He was
a heel.
No, but I mean, I know that, but
he was Rocky Maivia, a shit baby face, and then he became The Rock, and he was a fucking badass. That he can be the villain. That's how he did that before I
don't know if it translates the same to movies.
Oh no, it does.
Do you know what I could see it as, Kuva? I could see it as one of those. He's the good guy, or you think the whole long, and right near the end, there's a massive plot twist.
Oh yeah, possibly.
And it was behind him. I could see that more than starting off and being the villain the whole way through.
But The Rock's best stuff was as a heel.
No, man. No.
As a heel.
No. He was great as a heel. He was great as a heel, but mate, a lot of the promos that he cut that unfortunately I know off by heart included the 28-minute one when he came back to host WrestleMania and come back for the first time in 7 years. Yeah. I know it word for word perfect. Just give it like you said at one point when he was a heel, they were going to cut him. They were going to say, "Rock, no more. We can't do this." And then he said to Vince, "Just give me the microphone.
Yeah,
give me the microphone." And the rest, obviously, is history. That man, honestly, can whip an audience, and he can take them anywhere he wants to take them. He is sensational on the microphone.
Yeah,
the best Rock promos when they had the police officers. It says, "Do you like donuts? Yeah. What's your favorite donut? Jelly.
Write it down. Write it down.
Write it down. Get that donut. Raise it in the air. Squeeze all the jelly out of that donut. Turn that sumbitch sideways and stick it straight up.
Shine it up real good."
Yeah, but one of my favorites is it. Do you remember when he sang Eric Clapton's "You Look Wonderful Tonight" to Vicky Guerrero, and he goes, "I said, shut up, bitch. You look horrible tonight." And mate, him on the mic, even singing, mate. God gave him when God created him, or whoever created him. Literally said, "I'm going to give you the." There's not one bad thing about him. Like I always say this with Beckham, when that man was being created, said, "I'm going to give you the looks, the money, the wife, the fame, the power, and everything. But for this, I'm going to give you a silly voice." That was his. But with The Rock, it's like, what is wrong with that man? There's nothing he can't do.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Damn right.
I mean, he was even brilliant as a Pixar movie. That's how good The Rock is.
Moana and that rap. I fell asleep 3 times in Moana, but now I've finally seen it. But again, I know that rap.
Yeah.
Sadly, off by heart.
And I never used to be into the American wrestling until we got that period, the Attitude Era, and it was the Rock and Stone Cold. It was some of the funniest stuff I've ever watched. Over the top, and they were just lapping it up. It was brilliant.
Mate, the shit they got away with it, and you know the people's elbow was literally when you watch documentaries, him, Stone Cold, and Triple H said to each other, "Let's try and get the Undertaker to break character with the stupidest things we can come up with."
That's right.
And the people's elbow was solely devised to try and make the Undertaker laugh, and then obviously he did it once. And then it became like the thing.
Yeah,
it's like the first time I saw him do it when I started getting back into wrestling because of him, is when you hear them go the most electrifying move in all of entertainment, and I thought it was going to be this massive like Rey Mysterio kind of flips whatever.
Yeah,
and he just goes like this, runs up and down, and then just drops. Yeah, that was it. I was like, that's electrifying.
Yeah,
but literally, it's mate. Mate, I'm really showing my obsession with this man, unfortunately.
Oh,
moving on.
So
the Rock in flip-flops. Does the Rock full of flip-flop?
The Rock is one of the only people that could play James Bond at any era. He can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. I know who would be better at playing Jaws. It would be The Undertaker.
Yeah, The Undertaker could play. He could do it. And we've actually gone on for far too long talking about The Rock, because we all like talking about The Rock. So,
yeah. Talking, leaving my nephews and my niece and The Rock, you're locked in for... Oh, and Ilana, you're locked in for a few hours.
Yeah.
One thing you will never see, you won't see The Rock wearing flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Do you reckon?
No, just wear bare feet, because it doesn't care if his feet get burned. It would just say...
It doesn't matter what he wears.
It doesn't matter what you wear.
It doesn't matter how hot the floor is. Brian, we've talked about this yesterday, but again, when is Tottenham on tour coming back? I know it's coming back very soon.
Yeah, I would say... I don't want to start saying people are coming back then, and then obviously we go quiet. But what I can assure you is, obviously speaking with Ben, Danny, Brian Ireland, before Ben came on, we had these hot moments like January when I was at the trot, and we're very, very consistent. Then for some reason, someone gets very busy or something's going on, so we stop. What we want to do this time, when we come back, we want to make sure we're back for good, and we're back consistently with a lot of stuff. And obviously the time differences and everything has been a bitch, and personal issues away from YouTube and life and everything. So what I will say is, when I'm back in London, November the 9th, obviously not the 9th, I'm going to be, but from then, you will be seeing a lot more Tottenham on tour, especially with the English contingent.
Yeah.
Brian Ireland is still a huge part of it, and will be there as often, but seeing that we're all on the same time zone, it's going to be a lot easier to say, right, should we do something and plan it for this day when someone free? So I would say come mid-November during the World Cup, and then hopefully not, but I've got a feeling I will be outside the training ground late January. We will be back in full effect, and we are never ever going away.
Great stuff. And Kuva, what's happening this week?
I shall be on. Oh God, I've forgotten the name of the show now. Who is it? Marlon's show. What do they call it now?
Love Lounge. Spurs Lounge. Spurs Lounge.
No, that's
not Mari. Marlon.
Oh, Marlon, A View from the South Stand.
That's it. So apologies to Marlon if he's watching. I'll be doing after match reactions with him there. Otherwise, Shellside Spurs Thursday must watch. Unless they cancel it again if it's been a horrendous football match. Other than that, obviously Bob Spur Saturday nights, and then myself and Bobby K on Sundays. And quite possibly I might be starting another little show with 3 other people, doing a regular one now. But wait and see when that launches. But it'll just be a bit of a sum up of the week sort of thing. Spurs week.
Great stuff.
We'll see on that one. Otherwise, it's just I wanted to point out that Ben, is that real? You've got 223 subscribers.
Yes.
For a show that's basically football related, which is niche, Spurs related, even more niche. Yeah. And coffee company within inside that Spurs related. Even more niche, and you got 223 subscribers.
We need to get to 200.
Insane numbers.
We need to get 250. Just a sec, guys. We'll be with you in a sec. And
we'll get you to 250. You should be at 300 before the end of the year, minimum.
Yeah, we need to get to 300. We're getting there very, very slowly, but very, very surely. Thank you all so much for watching. To everyone that's listened to this nonsense for the past 1 hour and 44 minutes. And we will see you tomorrow at 2:00 for more of it. And we're doing movies The Rock should go in, apparently. So you're invited as well, because you're also.
I think you should. I think you should expand that to all WWE wrestlers.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of fun with that. I mean, I'm already thinking of a load of things for what's his name, Rikishi. I'm thinking of a load of things for Rikishi.
That's the thing what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, Simba just wants to say goodbye as well.
Bye, Simba.
Bye, Simba. Simba.
Sorry.
Nah, not what.
Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, if you smell what the cough is brewing,
Yeah.
Levy
Big
out.
up, Levy.
Leave
Sack
me
them
out.
all.
Leave me out.
Sack them all.
I can't leave you
Leave me
the last
out.
word there, Kuva.
Leave
Leave
me
me out.
out. Have a
Fair.
great rest of the day. Goodbye. Cheers.